You know that feeling, right? That little pull deep inside that says there's something more. That your life is supposed to be this big, grand adventure, not just, stuff happening. Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. A whole philosophy that sees our lives as this incredible, empowering quest. And it all kicks off with this really powerful invitation. And listen to this. This isn't just some nice, poetic thought. This is a call to adventure. It's an invitation meant for you, right here, right now. It's this idea that you, yes, you, are perfectly equipped for this amazing inner journey, a quest to figure out the biggest mystery there is, who you really are. All right, so let's break that down. A clarion call awaits. This is all about tapping into that deep, universal feeling we all get, that yearning for purpose, for something more. And here's the big idea, the whole point of this journey. It's about moving from limitation to liberation, from being finite to becoming infinite. Think about that. Our story isn't about being stuck. It's about breaking free. It's like a classic hero's journey, but the ultimate prize is expanding our own consciousness, taking it from where it is now to its absolute infinite potential. It's such a positive, forward-looking way to see things, and it's a path that every single one of us is already on. Okay, so every hero needs the right equipment for the quest, right? Well, for this inner journey, all the gear you need is you. There's this incredible ancient metaphor that basically turns our inner world into a user manual. It's a way to understand all the tools you have for the journey ahead. And at the absolute center of it all is the Atman, or the soul. This is the real you, the true self. In this metaphor, you're the silent passenger in a chariot. You're not the one doing the driving or the fighting. You're simply the observer, the one witnessing the whole journey. It's the core of your being, and this whole trip is for you. So let's build out this amazing metaphor. The passenger is your soul, the Atman. The chariot itself, that's your body. Now, who's driving? The charioteer is your intellect, and the reins the charioteer uses to steer, that's your mind. See how it all fits together? The whole point is that your intellect, the charioteer, is supposed to be in charge, using your mind to guide your body, all for the benefit of your soul, the passenger. But, no good story is without its challenges, right? No hero's journey is a walk in the park. And on this path, we have to battle our inner demons. The dragons we have to slay, they aren't out there somewhere. They're inside us. But here's the cool part. This isn't about beating yourself up. These struggles aren't failures. They're just the obstacles the hero has to face to get stronger and keep moving. And really, this whole internal battle comes down to two opposing forces. First, you've got Vidyamaaya. Think of this as the force that pulls you inward, towards your consciousness, towards freedom. It's that call to adventure we talked about. And then there's Avidyamaaya. This is the opposite. It's the force that pushes you outward, toward all the crude, distracting stuff in the world that can get you stuck. Our whole journey is basically a constant choice between these two poles. So that outward pushing force, Avidyamaaya, it's not just some abstract concept. It shows up in our lives as these 6 enemies. And yeah, they're pretty much the usual suspects, the classic villains of any inner story. Longing for stuff, anger, greed, blind attraction, vanity, and envy. These are the things that just absorb our attention and stop our progress dead in its tracks. And it's not just enemies we have to watch out for. There are also these 8 fetters, which are like chains that bind our mind and stop it from moving towards the subtle. And again, look at this list. Fear, shame, hatred, doubt, pride, feeling superior. These are the heavy weights we all carry around. The goal isn't to magically become perfect and have none of these. It's just to recognize them, to start loosening those chains so our chariot can finally move forward. Okay, so we've got our chariot, we know our destination is the infinite, we've even identified the enemies and the chains holding us back. So now what? How do we actually win this thing? Well, the great news is there's a practical, straightforward method, a path of intuition, a training regimen that anyone can follow to become the master of their own chariot. And that path is called Sadhana. You can think of it as intuitional practice. Basically, it's your personal effort. This is the hero's training montage. It's the conscious, daily work you do to weaken the grip of all those outward distractions and, at the same time, strengthen your connection to your true inner self. It's how you learn to get really, really good at handling the reins of your mind. And I gotta say, this next part is one of the most empowering ideas I've ever come across. It says that obstacles you face in your practice should be seen as good signs. Think about that. When things get tough, when those inner enemies and fetters start acting up and fighting back, it doesn't mean you're failing. It means you are winning. It means that Avidyamaaya, that outward force, is losing its power over you and it's throwing a tantrum. Obstacles are literally a sign of progress. How amazing is that? All right, let's talk about a huge misconception. When people hear spiritual journey, they often think it means you have to renounce the world, sell your stuff and go live in a cave somewhere. But this philosophy, it wants us to tackle that idea head on. This journey is about living a worldly life, and it's meant to be completely integrated into a normal, modern, active life. So here's the big question. Do you have to retreat from the world? Is that the only way to do this? And the answer is a huge, resounding no. In fact, it's pretty much the opposite. Why? Because retreating to the jungle isn't actually how you find relief. Living a worldly life gives you this incredible advantage. It's the perfect training ground, the perfect arena to put all this into practice. And even more importantly, it gives you the chance to serve humanity, which is a crucial part of the whole journey. Which brings us to the grand finale, the destination. Where is this chariot of the soul actually going? We're talking about attaining supreme bliss. The end of the hero's journey isn't just a little bit of peace, it's a state of total freedom, of unbreakable unity, and just supreme, unconditional joy. This ultimate destination, this supreme consciousness, is called Brahma. And it's really important to get this. Brahma isn't a person or some god up in the clouds. It's the all-pervasive, indestructible reality. It's the very fabric of existence itself, the singular, eternal consciousness that is the nucleus of the entire cosmos. You're on a journey back to it, because ultimately it's where you came from. And what's it like when you get there? That experience has a name, Kaivalya, which means oneness. This is a state that's beyond our normal way of thinking. Right now, there's you, the knower, and then there's the thing you're trying to know. In this state, that all dissolves. The knower, the known, and the knowing, they all become one. The passenger in the chariot realizes they aren't just in the landscape, they are the landscape. It's a state of absolute, total unity. And this isn't just some far-out, abstract idea. It has a real, practical effect on how you live your life day to day. A person who sees themselves in everything and everything in themselves, well, they can't hate anyone or anything. I mean, think about it. If you truly felt that connection, how could you? All the conflict, the fear, the feeling of being separate, it just melts away. So in the end, this whole grand cosmic story, it's your story. It's the journey from being a finite person to realizing your infinite self. It's the adventure that your own consciousness is on right this very second. It's not about trying to become someone different. It's about waking up to the incredible, infinite potential that's been inside you all along. So the final question is for you. Where on this path is your chariot today? And where are you going to steer it tomorrow?